welcome back to Rue's Life. So yet again, here I am in the Polytunnel. It is 17.5 degrees in here in the Polytunnel, and it's 12 degrees outside, and it's only about 9:30 in the morning. Spring really is well and truly on its way. I've got quite a lot going on already, which I'm going to show you, and lots to be doing. This is the time, isn't it, where we really start to have lots of jobs to do, and we've got seeds to sow, we've got jobs to do outside, and the growing season really is starting. So I'm going to give you a tour around today of the plot and the Polytunnel, what I've already got going and what my plans are for the coming weeks. So we'll start off here in the Polytunnel. You can see here I've got a lot of seeds sown. Some are already germinating and some I've only just sown. So I will talk you through those seeds just in a moment, but while we're just moving around, this bed here has got some carrots in it that have been there for quite some time, so I'm going to pull those up today and see what's edible from those. At the end of that bed are some leek seedlings, but I want to get everything out of this bed, so as I say, I'm going to pull those carrots, and I'm also going to lift those leek seedlings and just put them in a tub for now until I've got somewhere else to put them outside. And then this bed at the end here, I have some carrots sown at this area of the bed, which I only sowed a short while ago. There is no germination on those yet. And then at the far end are some potatoes, and those are the ones that they were just odds and sods of potatoes left over, which I popped in, and they've been sitting there over sort of tail end of the winter months, and they're starting to come, so I'm going to leave those there for now and see how those develop. And then if I just move you around again, in this bed again, just some odds and sods of potatoes. Rather than waste them, I popped them in and they're starting to come. And you may recall, if you've watched previous videos, I actually was a bit worried about them because they'd got frosted. I then covered them with fleece, and as you can see, they're coming back fine. This bed at the end, I've actually sown some lettuce seeds into this bed, and the lettuce, they are the romaine lettuce, and they're actually going to be for the chickens. They really like them, and rather than buying them, which seems ridiculous when I can grow my own, I'm going to grow plenty of lettuce for them this year, because they absolutely love them. So those are going to be chicken lettuce. So let's have a look at these seeds. So over here on the left, I've got my peas, and as you can see, they're looking really good. I have been successionally sowing them, so I've got quite a lot of peas on the go. I've got a new sowing of broad bean here, and they were only done a couple of days ago, so I'm not expecting any germination on those yet. I have got some broad beans which are germinating. I've got a couple of pots of those. We've got some germination on the coriander at the back there. More broad beans. These are the ones that I did the tail end of the year, and one of them has germinated, but the others don't seem to have done. So I've actually popped another bean seed into each one of those modules to see if they will come. There are some runner beans in a pot here, which I've only just sown, so again, I'm not expecting any germination on those. I've got some red Baron onion and some F1 Bridger onion, so they're a red onion and a white onion. And I have a tiny bit of germination on the red onion. And then in these little, I've got some celery here, Utah, again, it's only just been sown. So I'm not expecting any germination on that yet. In here I've got some chilies. I've got some lemon chili and some jalapeno. Again, they've only just gone in, so I'm not expecting any germination on those yet. I will pop the cover back on that as well. Then in this little propagator I've got some aubergine, Black Beauty, and my cucumber, which are Tasty King. Then in this one we've got tomatoes, and I've got 4 different variety. Let me move across of tomato. I've got San Marzino, Golden Sunrise, Yellow Pear, and another variety, and I can't actually remember which variety it is. Mortgage Lifter. So I've got beef, plum, cherry, and then just ordinary little eaters. So that's a good selection of my favourite varieties of tomato there. Then I've got some sweet corn, which is variety Swift. Some spinach, I've got perpetual spinach and Bloomsdale. Then I've started some more rhubarb, and the variety is Victoria. Some Swiss chard, and the variety is Bright Lights. Some kale, which is the dwarf green curly. Some purple sprouting broccoli. Some Brussels sprouts, and they are the variety Groninger. And some all the year round cauliflower. And then if I just move you around, so here we've got some Californian poppy, some calendula, my favourite calendula. Then I've got some herbs over here, some chives, some basil, some garlic chives, and some oregano. This is that little lavender, which I really must get into the ground this year. I had started off with 2. They were quite cheap from either Lidl or Aldi, and I just never got them into the ground. One died because I left it in the polytunnel and it didn't get enough water. So this one I will get into the ground. And then in these pots over here, I've got some parsley, some curly parsley, and some flat leaf parsley, some sweet peas, and some sunflowers. So lots going on. And then just something I wanted to share with you. Some of you might already be aware of these. So this little pot has got in it, if you can just see those, these funky little gadgets. They were only a few pounds. I got them online. And you attach them to a bottle, and if you've got pop bottles, we don't generally drink pop. This was a tonic bottle. I am a gin and tonic girl. And you just attach them to the top, and they're absolutely fabulous. So if I just show you here, they are absolutely brilliant for watering your seedlings. I can't believe many of you may have already discovered these, but if you haven't, they're absolute game changer. Because you can water, but because it doesn't come whooshing out too quickly, it's just that lovely light sprinkling, so you're not washing those seeds out or disturbing them. Absolutely fantastic, highly recommend them. As I say, a few pounds for a packet of 1, 2, 3, 4, of 5. Brilliant, absolutely recommend those. So that's what's going on here in the polytunnel. Let's go outside and see what's going on out there. So these are the beds that I made with a collaboration with Erica from Erica's Little Welsh Gardens, and if you haven't already discovered her channel, it's wonderful. Check it out, I'll leave a link below. And we did a collaboration together on how to create these simple and effective, quick and easy beds, inspired by Liz Zorab from By the Farm, whose latest book Grounded is out, full of fabulous ideas, and this is one of them. So that's where the inspiration for that came from. So thank you to Liz and to Erica. Check out their channels. I will, as I say, leave links below. And then if I just gently move you around, those 2 tubs are empty at the moment. Then we've got the compost heaps. Here we've got the rhubarb, and I've never actually forced rhubarb before, but Jane Kelly, lots of name dropping here today, from Jane's Allotment, she had mentioned forcing rhubarb, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. So I'm just going to lift that pot and show you what's going on underneath that pot. So you can see there, the rhubarb is really coming through, and by blocking out the majority of the light, I'm forcing it to come that little bit quicker because it's looking for the light. Now, if you've never forced rhubarb before, you really, if I do it this year, then I won't do it again next year, because it does, you are making it, you're forcing it. and it's pushing all its energy very quickly and unnaturally. So next year I will leave it alone. But I'm really happy with how that's coming along. I can actually see I'm forcing some weeds here as well, so I will give this bed a bit of a weed. And then moving on from the rhubarb, let's move across to the beds. So the first bed here has nothing in it yet, but it's all prepped and ready to go. The middle bed, there is still some celery, which I'm really pleased. I've actually overwintered that, and I wasn't sure how it was going to do, but it's overwintered really, really well. I have started some more celery off, but we'll see how this one goes. I am actually planning also on letting this one go to seed and harvesting some of those seeds for next time. Then next to that celery, you can see I've transplanted some leek, which were in the polytunnel, and I've transplanted those out into the bed. Then next to the leek, I've got my 3 types of onion. So if you saw my video when I planted that, it was just a mixed bag of white, red and yellow onion, and I don't actually know what the varieties are, but they are in. There is an alpine strawberry, which has done fine over the winter, and there's a little gap in front of that which I can use to sow something. And then at the far end of that bed I've got my garlic. And then the furthest bed there, again prepped, ready to go, and I've nothing in it yet. And then if you just look across, you can see I have started the preparation for my 4th bed out here. So let's go across and have a look. So I was toying with the idea of doing 2 beds here, but actually now I've sort of measured it out and had a look, that bed is only fractionally larger than the beds I already have. So all I've done for the time being is I've laid down some plastic. I've got some big plastic bags, the yellow ones you can just see poking out the end here. I've also split some compost bags, and they are laid out at the other end, and you can just see them at the far end. And I've covered it with a doubled over tarpaulin, and everything is weighted down with bricks. And then I'm just going to leave that, and that will start to suppress those weeds. And then when I'm ready, I will lift off those suppressant layers, see how things are looking, lay down some cardboard, and then start to cover it with compost ready for planting. You can just see at this end, I've actually used another log, and if I just come back a little, you can see that I've put, well, you may not be able to see, there we are, that I've put that roughly in line with the edging of that bed, so that the pathway, I will take this end log here away, and this path will then extend out and around and round and past the polytunnel. So I will put some weed suppressant membrane down, and then some more bark, and I do need to top up the bark paths that I already have. So I'm really pleased that I'm starting to expand outside here, and I'm going to have some more growing space. So I hope you've enjoyed that little tour of what's going on here on the plot and in the polytunnel. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon.